Hello, YouTube. We are back for the attack for the X-Men #1. So let me get out the cover, which is in my bookbinding press. And we're rolling. We're moving and shaking. We're going in the right direction, and that direction is completion. So let's remove the top shelving unit. And there we go. We have the cover. The cover is sitting in the press for about a few days. And during the course of the few days, what I did was I pressed it various ways, manipulating it with different types of pressing, using parchment paper, using newsprint paper, just like this, which I cut in half of a big sheet. I put it on the top and the bottom. Various different ways to smooth it out. And I'm pretty happy with the way it's pressed. And here is the reverse. And the reverse also came out quite well, in my opinion. Now, it's very difficult to get a perfect pulp color for the whole thing because, as you know, we have a donor back cover, a donor front cover, but the spine really filled in nice and well, in my opinion. And this is the section, as you can see here, that we filled in all the pieces. And if you recall my prior beginning uploads where I said I'm going to cover the pieces that needed to be covered, or the voids between the little sections of the front cover that we put together, because you need to support it, the leaf casting. Although there is portions of the cover that are covered by the leaf casting, it's a necessary evil. Also right here, this section and this section, I had to reinforce it with Tengojo off camera because there was a rip on the original cover here and here. And because there was a rip, the rip actually migrated. Not that it ripped, but the seam, because there must have been a crease with the rip that continued. I didn't like this section right here, and I wanted to reinforce it because it's a conserved book, and I just had to do it because I knew it would be a problem if this book was going to be read and thumbed through. I had to support this little area and this little area. And you have to remember also the perimeter of the front cover was very shattered. It was ripped and chipped, but now we have a nice straight angle, or a straight line, not an angle, and it really presents very well. So I'm happy with it. So what are we going to do now? What we're going to do now is I want to get going with basically folding the cover. So I want to put a piece of parchment paper down. We're going to put the cover down. And here we go. This is the interior of the book right here. So look how nice that fits in. Just like that. Okay. And we want to fold the cover over. And we have to do it in a way that I want to shape it with the spine of the interior of the book. And I have to be upfront, guys. I'm filming this and it's a little late right now and I'm a little tired, but I want to get this done. And I'm filming this on Thursday night, the night before this upload is going to be put on YouTube. I wasn't going to put an upload on Friday morning. I was going to take off for Easter weekend, but I decided, you know what, let me just get this going so we can put it in the press. So what am I going to do? What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a simple, I want to line this up, and I want to just take a pencil line, very faint, going down, just like this. You're never going to see it once the book is folded. So I made a very faint pencil line. I'm sure that you can't even see it with the camera. After doing that, what I want to do is I want to wet this area where the pencil mark is. So I have a brush. I also have a water, I have a mason jar here with water and methyl cellulose, a very diluted methyl cellulose with probably about 10% methyl cellulose and 90% water. Now, when I do things, I don't have exact equations. I don't think it's necessary. So what I want to do is I just want to run the water down the spine with the methyl cellulose. Not a lot. We're not going to go crazy. I just want to dampen the spine just like this so I can fold it. I can fold it, and I'm making it pliable. And this is the way that I do it now. I remember I used to use spindles and things of that nature, but this to me is a good way of doing it. Now what I want to do is I want to take the original cover, the original interior, and I have a piece of parchment paper. We're going to cover it so the leaf casting does not stick. And then I want to breast the interior just like this. And then we're slowly, and a matter of fact, I want to wet this just a little more, just like this. And then what I want to do is I want to slowly, hopefully, it will go without breaking. And I want to slowly fold the cover over the interior of the book, just like this. And hopefully it will work out without cracking or causing any problems. And we're going to slowly manipulate it just like this. And I'm going to try to line it up best as possible with the interior of the book. And again, this is a slow process. You have to take your time. And I want to fold it nice. And I want to see if I can do it as best as possible for Saucedogcomics. Slowly manipulating it just like this. And you have to understand, sometimes pieces may fall off just like this. A piece of the cover fell off. That's okay. We will adjust it later after I manipulate the cover and get it into the proper curvature of the book itself. And unfortunately, pieces do break off with the leaf casting. But again, this is something that we can take care of after the book is folded and we get it in a situation where the spine is formed. And in fact, I'm going to take that little piece and we're going to put it in Saucedogcomics' little vessel right here. And we're going to deal with that later. I can use methyl cellulose and get that on. So right here, I'm happy with the way the spine is folded. Look how nice that looks. Okay, this is really a wonderful situation, and bravo. Look how nice that looks. This is a X-Men #1 that I was able to put a donor back cover with a original X-Men #1 cover, And look how nice this looks. So we're not done, guys. So what I want to do is I want to take a piece of parchment paper, just like this, and I'm going to rest a piece of parchment paper on the bottom. And we're going to put the whole book on the parchment paper, just like this, because we are going to press it. And I'm going to gently put this in the press, and we're going to let this sit overnight. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come back and we are going to adjust it. We're going to add that little piece on, and then we're going to be close to being done with this project, because then what we have to do is we have to put on the staples and install them, and that's going to be a fun time doing that. And we're going to be done with this book, and I can't wait to send it off to CGC. So what I'm doing right now is I'm cutting a piece of parchment paper on the side off camera, and I think this lines up quite well, just like this. Okay, so what I want to do is we're going to put the piece of parchment paper on top. Let me check out the back again, just make sure it's adjusted, and it is. This is a dynamite job, in my opinion. I'm very happy with the results. So I'm going to put a piece of parchment paper on top, just like this. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to put the top shelving unit on. And matter of fact, I'm going to do something as well. What I want to do is I want to maybe put a backer board in the middle. Let me think. A lot of the times I'm thinking on camera, you know, that this is not an exact science, and I changed my mind. I'm not going to put it. I think this is formed just the way I want it, just like this. And I'm going to put a piece of parchment paper, like I just said. And let's see, yep, that falls down nice. We're going to put a shelving piece of the shelving unit on, just like this, the top piece. And I'm going to put this in my bookbinding press. So get ready, guys. We're going to hear some crazy sound effects now. You ready? And I didn't wrench down a tremendous amount. I just put some slight pressure on the bookbinding press. And we're done for tonight, guys. So I hope you enjoy the upload that I wasn't going to do. I want to get the book done, and we're almost there. So tell me what you think. How did the book look folded? You really don't notice that leaf casting on the spine once it's folded, guys. And I knew that would happen, and I think it looks dynamite. So, comment, subscribe. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Share. Let's get this channel moving a little bit, okay? And I appreciate your support. Thank you for stopping by for the first comic channel that does conservation. And stay tuned.